Hi, family. I'm SNwadiei. I'm Habasia, helping your brothers and sisters in Africa. I know you're getting tired of me saying I'm in my backyard garden in Galveston, Texas. You can hear the birds talking to each other when you're out here. They're just ever present. It's funny. I was planning on talking about noise pollution out here, but it's funny. Maybe today my noise polluting neighbors are celebrating the 4th of July, so they actually stuff in their mouth instead of making noise. I think maybe they do a hobby with wood or do some kind of wood repair stuff. I don't know. But they make noise lots of times all day long. When you're in the backyard, you can hear it. Thank goodness my camera is not that sensitive that it actually picks those sounds up. I can hear them, but I don't really think they sound on video, which is a blessing. Because I'm doing good for this camera to hear me without earphones. But I think when I have the earphones that it doesn't look as natural as when I just go without them. So if it's a really windy day, I'll put them on. But otherwise, I'll try my best to speak without them. But anyway, guys, how y'all doing today? I'm not going to tell y'all anything about any man-made holiday because actually I don't celebrate anything today, other than what I celebrate every day, which is being alive, y'all. Because every day you're alive is another day that you can actually do something to make your life the best life you can do today. Nobody can bring back the hands of time and step into a time machine that I know of. Because we can analyze till the cows come home, as my ex-husband would say, and I have found to be true. You cannot undo what has been done. And I think that lots of times people always want to second guess, not their life really. If you listen to people and interact with people, they never really want to interact with themselves and think that they could go back and fix their life, because nobody can. All we can work with is the present. Tomorrow is always coming, but it never arrives. And the past is gone forever. You can go back and see what happened and separate yourself from it, because it's not happening anymore. You were a child then, or you were a younger person then, and you're no longer that person. You're an older person, whether you grew up and became an adult, or you grew older and became an older adult, So anyway, guys, life is no simple process, and it's definitely not for cowards, You learn all kinds of things in life, and that is how you keep living, one day at a time. But I just wanted to talk just a little bit about some things that's been on my mind, even though I saw the little young lady, Sha'Carri Richardson. I heard about her story, and to me, I'm not going to comment other than saying I definitely wish her the best, and I pray that they still let her compete and just give her whatever penalty, whatever, because it's their rule. So whatever penalty they impose on her, that she will be successful at doing what they tell her to do so she can get to her next step, and that whoever is supposed to be her support system will actually become that. Because when you're in a social arena, it's hard to make good decisions. There's so many people surrounding you that actually smile in your face and don't want you to succeed. They will help you go back to where you came from and act like they your friend and cry with you, but they don't want to help you to make that mistake when they could have told you, girl, that ain't good to do. You know, it's like, what part do we play in our friends' lives sometimes when they're doing something that has so much pressure to it and they actually have you as part of their life? Now, that part only she knows and the people that were surrounding her know. But now that reporter who did all of this asking about her mother and all of that, and talking about her mother being dead, is like, I don't know if it was a man or a woman, but it doesn't matter. Whoever it was wrong for that. People need to learn to leave people's families out of stuff. If somebody's in a sport, ask them about stuff that pertains to their sport. If they choose to go hug their grandmama or talk about their parents, that is different. They voluntarily doing that. But for you to ask about their personal business is wrong. It's nobody's business about people's personal business unless they say so. You know? Some things are personal. You know? Even though they did show her hugging her grandmother, she might have been just fine without anybody doing that either. It's like some things, y'all, should be personal. You know? That's how I feel about it. People need to mind their own business. Leave people have some privacy. Cover what is supposed to be covered when it is something that's in sports. If they ask you to cover them as a human interest story, oh, I'm going to do this or that after the race, or I don't care if you do cover me, that's different. But just to be so invasive in someone's life without permission, it gets to be overwhelming sometimes to people. You know, no matter who they are, no matter how young they are, how old they are, being under the eye of people and the judgment of people is stressful, y'all. I have a book here called Black Mental Health Matters. And I didn't get it for myself, but y'all, I got it for somebody that was in my family that was having some issues. That, no, I'm not going to go into it because some things should be personal. But I'm just sharing in general that my family, too, does not escape mental health issues. You know? I've gone to therapy before. I mean, I remember the first time I ever went to a therapist. It was after I adopted my daughter. Single parent adopted my daughter, and that was part of the adoption process, that you would all go to family therapy. And then after a while, the therapist said, Miss SNwadiei, you need to have your own sessions because as a caregiver, you have a lot of things that you got to do, and you need something so you can help yourself too, as one of the people that you have to care for. So she said it's covered under the whole program. So I started going and I'm able to vent on my feelings, and I got some new skills, you know, some new coping mechanisms to help me make it through that process. Lots of times I felt like bringing her back. Lots of times I cried and said they lied to me, because people lie and say all you need is love and care. And people can't be fixed, y'all. They just can't be fixed. People have lots of layers, lots of problems. They actually do need a village. Everybody needs a village. It takes a village to raise a child. So even a single parent does not need to be a single parent. Everybody that's in that single parent life has to see that they play an integral part of that person being whoever, their friend, their family member, whoever. And that person needs the support of those people too. And that the new person coming into the family also needs that support. Instead of being treated as an outsider, they need to be treated as a new person. Kind of like a baby, but not. You know, new to the family, but understanding that that person has their own personal history that they bring with them into that family, with all of their rights of their own feelings, and that they too have to work out their emotions, which are very complicated. Lots of people come from toxic families. And you know, as we think about toxic families, we always want to say it's somebody else's, but y'all, a lot of us have toxicity in our family. So this is what I got out of Google about toxic families. It says toxic family dynamics can be hard to recognize sometimes. And they also said it could be any behavior that makes you feel unloved, unwanted, or even just bad about yourself. And it said all families struggle from time to time, but members still feel loved, supported, and respected. And with that part, I disagree, because I think most families, when they having these difficulties, yeah, they do have the appearance of feeling unloved and unwanted and not heard. Yeah, they work through it, sometimes because they don't have a choice, don't have nowhere else to go, so they work through it where they are. And then sometimes when they have a way to leave, they do, you know. That's the process. And the problem sometimes with families, it's like even when families start off as the nuclear family with mother, father, and I will retract that statement, ideal, American ideal family, African ideal family, African American, etc. ideal family, mother, father, child. I'm not going to even say black boy, but black man, black child, no, because we have other things in us too. And I'm not teaching us to hate ourselves. Acceptance has to be part of it too. You know, all aspects of us. We don't have to brag about it, but we have to accept our entirety. But anyway, like I was saying, lots of times we feel that way. Sometimes the caregiver, no matter who it is, whether it's a man, whether it's a woman, even when people say, come back, wherever you living, just say if you're living in a big city, or somewhere where your main family, your family of origin is. And if you and your spouse or your partner break up, and they say, come back, we'll help you with your kids. Well, it seems like a simple solution, but it's so multifaceted. You may come back, and they have mental illness in that family, where you still have to pray that your kids are going to be alive when you get off work. You may still have people in your family that don't respect you as an adult, and tell your children, do whatever you want to at whoever's house, baby's house. But don't do this at my house. This is the rules. Instead of saying, you need to respect your elders, especially your caregiver. I'm sorry, y'all. I had that alarm clock on, but I got up way before then. I was just trying to get a little extra rest before I started in on my dress for my cousin's wedding. But anyway, just imagine that caregiver needs support of people, not to minimize your authority to your children. That just because somebody saw you as a baby, please, guys, let people grow up. Nobody stays a baby forever, and nobody needs to be parented that way forever. Nobody, y'all. We all grow up. Everybody in this world has been a baby at some point, but they're not breastfeeding on their mama at 60, or 70, or 80, because some people, parents live to be 110 or older. But let's just say, the way you interact with your adult offspring, because like I said, they're not children anymore. Adults are adults. You should be to a point that you could actually have an intellectual discussion with your adult offspring, and they can see you as a human being and not as they did when they were children. That's a healthy relationship. But if somebody only sees you as when they was a child, you cannot do anything about that. They have to decide for themselves that they're an adult, and as they see themselves as an adult, they'll see you as a person too, an individual, and not just a sticker on your head that just says parent. No matter what they call you, no matter what they think of you, The only reason why I'm saying these things is because of different things that's been happening in the world. And I relate everything to myself also. I think some people think that they need to fix other people, because even though they know their relationships inside of their family is broken and they feel like it's irreparable, that they try to fix other people. And I'm telling you, y'all, nobody needs a savior out here. Nobody. Not me. Not nobody I know. The only person who can save us is us. We have to free our own minds from that mental chains of feeling trapped inside of your own skin. That trap of feeling hopeless and helpless, stuck in a childhood. If that is the case. Not necessarily the case with everybody, but if so, only that person can free themselves from that. Nobody else can do it. Adults are adults, and yeah, they definitely do what they want. And nobody can make choices for them. And all I can ask you is that if you're going to be a friend to anybody, whether it's your family member or somebody you just met, and trying to build a relationship with, or you've been knowing a long time, please don't try to judge that person from your lens, from your life, because it's not fair. You don't know the whole story. And guess what? You don't need to know. You're not a therapist. And even if you were, most of them don't even care no more. They tired of hearing our stories. I remember my last therapist. She told me, you fine. When you got a problem, come back. Well, hell, I was going to the therapist just as preventive measure, maintenance measure, just to vent. Now, if I have money here, I could go forever. But I was going with Medicare, even though I have Blue Cross Blue Shield too. But Blue Cross Blue Shield is not your primary caregiver anymore. Not once you become a certain age. They just force you to use Medicare first. So I guess she got less money, so she wasn't bothered. You know, unfortunate. But it's okay. You know, I know how to manage myself. And I figured if that's how she was going to give me support, I never want to talk to her again. I don't need her, you know. So anyway, I'm just asking for you to just reflect before you think sometime. And if you're being a friend of somebody, because I'm sure whoever you're talking to actually listens to what you say, or you wouldn't call them and talk to them, and you wouldn't accept their phone calls. But just think that they're not asking you for advice, not psychological advice on how to live their life. And they don't need anybody to solve their problems. I know personally I don't. Just because I choose to share a little bit with somebody doesn't mean I want to go all in my past and on and on and on about my life. I really don't like that stuff, you know. But I really like meeting new people and making new friends, but I don't like going backwards with stuff that doesn't matter anymore. It really doesn't matter. And things that folks don't know and other folks' personal business really is their personal business. And whatever they choose to share with you and you choose to listen, that's fine. But please, just don't try to fix them, that's all. Just listen, let them vent. If you get tired, just excuse yourself, say you got somewhere you got to go, you know, whatever. Somebody else is calling you, you got to get the call, whatever. Y'all know how to cut people off. Just do that, y'all. You know, be a friend. Be a good family member. If I listen to you, try to listen to me. That's all I'm saying. I don't need nobody to say, girl, better you than me, child. I hate that, y'all. I really hate that, because I feel like I'm heard, but they don't care, because they so selfish. The person I'm talking to is so selfish that all they can think of is, I'm glad it's not me. So that means you don't care about me. If you're glad it's not you. Hell, it's not about you. That's why I'm saying it is about me, you know? If I'm listening to your story, I know it's not about me. And I don't borrow trouble. I can hear somebody's problem, but I'm not going to try to be the answer to their problem. Maybe once upon a time I did that, but guys, I'm not going to do that. I understand. Nobody can work out a problem but that person themselves. But I hear people say so much, better you than me, child. From one of my cousins to one of my close friends. Or, oh, you so strong. Oh, yeah, really? Oh, you so strong. Why? Because I'm not having a nervous breakdown for you to say, I'm glad it ain't me? That ain't the way to show support, y'all. Like I said, just listen, that's all. Every once in a while, I hear you. I hear you. That should be good enough for them, you know? And if it's not, they'll go get some assistance somewhere else. Or they'll vent to someone else, you know? Or they'll just journal. Or they'll do a YouTube video and wait on the comments. Oh, that's how I feel about it. But anyway, I'm just venting, y'all. And I'm telling you, I remember my mama when I made it home one year to visit her. I got there late at night. I drove from Tulsa, Oklahoma to Galveston, Texas. And when I got there, she said, y'all, you made it. And she looked so happy. You made it. And that's how I feel like in life. We have our struggles, y'all. But if you just be there for us and just hear us like we hear you, I'm always saying treat people like you want to be treated. So if you hearing me, and I'm hearing you, we gonna make it, y'all. We gonna make it. And until next time, peace, peace, power to the people. And I'm out, y'all. Bye.